Well, Coach Brown gave the rest of the staff and the players the day off, but he came in for his Monday press conference. I'll give you the injury updates first because if you haven't heard them, that's probably what you're most interested in. I'm not going to make you wait and listen to me talk for way too long before you hear it. The news for Burks and Lathan is about as good as it can be. Now with Lathan, that means he's only out for the season. Surgery went well. He is expected to make a full recovery. So linebacker should be pretty danged interesting next year. Well, it's going to be interesting this year, but not for such good reasons. Aubrey Burks, tests are negative. He is up and about. He may be back for Houston, but he'll have to go through protocols and just have to see. I mean, it's not like he didn't get hit. There are things, that will just kind of have to heal, but shouldn't be any danger. The rumor somebody started about a broken neck, no. And I wish people would check, instead of, I heard somebody say. It wasn't, it isn't. Burks is in good shape. And that is good for the team. Wyatt Milum got poked in the eye after a play was over. I'll need to go back and take a closer look to see just how that happened. I know who. Milum did try to continue playing, but no go, and his eye was completely closed. As Coach Brown put it, if it had been a boxing match, it would have been stopped. Hershey McLaren probably could have gone back in, but, it was a decision not to risk it. So he should be back for Houston. Rimac, we have to wait and see. Doesn't appear to be a long-term injury. Might be ready for Houston, might not. And Austin Cave, this is an ongoing thing. It's a lower body injury. I mean, Coach Brown refers to it as day-to-day, but also says he doesn't think it's season-ending, which sounds a little unclear. It does, some things you have to wait and see how the body responds and whether or not something goes wrong in the rehab. The kind of thing Mallinger seems to have had happen rather late in the process. With Garrett Green's injury, he did not get any reps Tuesday or Wednesday. Then Markiel rolled his ankle. Thursday morning, he was a no-go. So Green got a walkthrough on Thursday, a run-through on Friday, and tossed into the game on Saturday. This also meant changes in the game plan because even though Green and Markiel are very similar, there are differences that go beyond one's right-handed, one's left-handed. So that was part of the reason why things were just not sharp at all in the first half. Also, Brown didn't think Green would be running that well. So his game plan called for a slower Garrett Green. And then we saw what happened instead. So, come second half, Brown adapted, changed the play calling, and we saw what happened then. So we've got a little more evidence against those people who claim Brown doesn't change. He changes, he knows what he's doing, he's good at it. He's not sitting on his couch at home making claims and shouting. Also, so, 4 guidelines for the team are strain, toughness, discipline, play smart. He's happy with the strain and toughness. I think we all are. He is not happy with the discipline or playing smart. Now, the discipline is certainly better than last year. Number of penalties is way down. It seems every game we have 1 or 2 not smart plays. And often by people who really should know better. So far they haven't killed us. That Milum chasing the blocked field goal was not smart, and it has been covered. And I kind of think it's going to be covered again with a little extra emphasis in talking to Wyatt Milum. He's a good player. He knows better, but he'll hear about it. Hey, quick break here. Just asking you, please subscribe, comment, click the thumbs up, and share with your friends. Back to the video. He took the kickoff to start the game because of wind conditions. And this meant getting to pick end of the field, wind direction. Because he made this choice that so many fans and the announcers questioned, 2 of our field goals were with the wind. And 1 or 2 from TCU were against the wind. And that's also why he did not attempt 1 field goal on 4th down, because that would have been into a stiff wind. So when Brown does something that you don't agree with, maybe instead of shouting, you should ask, why did he do that? What is it he knows that I don't? And I'm pretty sure that Coach Brown knows more about football than the average fan on their butt on their couch. And I'm more than a little sure that he knows more than I do, sitting on my butt in this chair. There have been rumors that I do not know everything. Truth is, I know everything. I'm just so absent-minded that I can't remember it. Or maybe I'm wrong about that too. Obviously, not happy about the missed turnover opportunities. Said 2 of the potential interceptions could have been pick sixes. Man, that changes the game in a hurry. We had a shot at one of the muffed punts and didn't even get close. We're not tackling well, not making people miss, and sometimes trouble with separation on part of the wide receivers. Now, of course, other times they were getting open. Weren't always getting the ball, but they were getting open, so we got half of it covered. We just have to get the other half consistently. He says best football for this team is ahead. I agree. I've said that before. I think will be better by Houston. Whether we're going to get better gradually or in a hurry, I don't know. It could happen in a hurry because we aren't very far away from being really good. A handful of completed passes. That's it. That's the difference right now between scraping out a few points and enough to win and racking up points and winning going away. I'm enjoying this play, but I would like to see a few going away in the right direction. For linebacker, Cutter, Favaris, and Beiser are the choices. Those are the guys who are going to play, who have to step up. Cutter has shown he's got the ability. Teams are going to try to take advantage of his inexperience. Hopefully he will teach them a lesson about that, but he is going to make mistakes. That's it. He's going to make mistakes. Don't get mad. If he makes the same mistake twice, then you can get mad. But we'll talk about that some other time. At safety, it's less certain. Brown said that's something they're going to have to think over and talk about, and it does depend on Burks' status. So, can talk about possibilities, but we'd just be guessing. A note from me, this is not something Coach Brown talked about. He wouldn't. But there are fans out there who still think, and that's not really the right word for what they're doing, that when a player does well on a handful of plays, it means they should be playing all the time. Reality, the players are doing well on these plays because the coaches are being very selective. They're putting them in position to succeed. That does not mean they are ready to run the entire playbook. It's called developing a player. And, of course, that's another claim we hear, that Brown and his staff don't develop players. Well, by golly, they do. It's just that fans won't recognize it when it's happening. It takes time. So once again, when Brown and his staff are doing something you don't understand, maybe you should ask why, rather than shouting, Brown doesn't know what he's doing. He knows. He's known all along. He's also known he's made mistakes. He's human. Look it up. You're human. So maybe I should be a little more forgiving about your mistakes. And since there is a fair chance that I'm going to make more mistakes in the future, I'm going to see if maybe I can forgive myself now and save time later. In the meantime, I probably should be doing something other than talking about West Virginia football. I know there are certainly a number of things on the to-do list for today, whether I want to do them or not. I will see you again when I've got more to talk about and you've had a chance to rest your ears. And then we'll be talking West Virginia football and watching West Virginia football. And by golly, beat Houston. Beat Holgerson. you may have come to suspect, I'm not fond of Dana Holgerson. I'm not. In the meantime, have fun, and so long.